and kind of seeing where else could you work with, or who else could you work with. Last but not least, and I'm sure you're looking at Meals on Wheels and saying, am I getting into social welfare catering? And no, that's not it at all. This is a really interesting one, and it could very easily take off here. Meals on Wheels is really looking at the whole food trucks. Now, I'm not talking about like kind of really poor quality, terrible food trucks. These are food trucks that have quite an upmarket product. And again, this is a US-Canadian phenomenon. It hasn't really hit Europe or here yet. And what, is anybody familiar with the term flash mob? Do you know what that kind of means, where kind of they all kind of appear, do their thing, and then disappear? This is happening a lot. They're calling them food rodeos, where you might get like a dozen food trucks all showing up in the same place. They're there for an hour over lunch, and then they're gone. And obviously for them, it's a huge opportunity. It has that whole novelty factor. It's all driven through social media. For restaurateurs, that's tough to compete against because they have a much, much lower cost base. They have no overheads. They have no expensive wait staff. They have no reservation staff. So again, I'm just throwing these things out to kind of think, are there things that might impact you or things you could do? And the same thing with the kitchen swapping. And this is where you may have chefs, very well-known chefs or chefs from very well-known restaurants, and maybe switch a night a week and go and cook in, as they call it, like kind of the humble dives and diners. And again, that creates a whole different kind of, I guess, culinary adventure, and it creates a whole buzz about it. And it's almost like a cachet that you're able to get a seat in this smaller venue for this great chef. It also gives the chef extra creativity, because they can create meals that they can't really do in their own restaurant. So again, it's all about that kind of thinking a wee bit differently and thinking of different things that go on. So it is, I mean, it is a tough environment, there's no doubt about it. So looking at some of the business supports that we have, and I mean, this is really just a flavour of it. I have some website addresses at the end, you can kind of look at it, and my contact information. But just to give you a sense, I mean, you're not on your own out there. There is like kind of some helps and supports. And I mean, at all levels, really. I mean, we have executive management programs that we do at Cornell, that we would do international benchmarking, and there's great networking and alumni with those. We have Business Tools website, and this is really, really set up focusing on very small businesses. There's lots of information on there. You could have break-even calendars, calculators, return on investments, how to deal with your bank manager if you need to look at financial restructuring. God knows credit's thin on the ground these days, but what can you do to actually try and give yourself a better position? I mean, for small businesses, you don't need a 40-page business plan. You need 2 pages max. All those kind of templates are in there that'll kind of help